The world you see every day is far more complex than we ever give it credit for. Hundreds of billions of neurons connect to form our thoughts, beliefs, and actions throughout the day. It then transmits electrically at every moment to every point in our nervous system, connecting our minds to a sensory experience, feeling the feelings that we feel, smelling the things we smell, tasting the things we taste. And as we get older and as we perceive more things, this leads to a rise in neural connections and consciousness. More neurons fire in every moment, and at every moment, new connections are being formed. This is neuroplasticity, the fact that our neurons are always in movement. Nothing is ever truly still, in fact, but our neurons are always moving and our neural connections are always changing, meaning our beliefs are always changing based on the impulses or the thoughts, the thought patterns that we take every day. Now, this is just to set the scene for a really important concept that is under taught and leaves a huge problem with the people, which is the mental health epidemic. And a lot of this comes from the gut brain axis. As you can see, it's nicely labeled out here. Our gut tells our brain which neurotransmitters to produce, and our brain tells our gut, hey, it's time to eat. Yo, you hungry, bruh? Excuse me. Yo, you hungry, bruh? You gotta digest. You have to secrete these enzymes to break down what I'm sending you. So we actually do eat with our eyes first. Because when we see something, we see food and we're like, oh yeah, we're about to eat that. We actually tell our gut, yeah, we're about to eat meat, or we're about to eat carbs, or we're about to eat avocado. And your gut is then like, oh, okay, I know that. That's a familiar food. Let me release the thing that I usually release that works well, which is absolutely unreal if you think about like really what's going on. So if we want to get really deeper into this, the thing that's connecting them is the vagus nerve. And this is the thing that I want to focus on because it's one of the most important things that's overlooked in, science, but especially in the wellness world, like for being really like the easiest thing to work with, it's not worked with very much. And it has huge implications over your entire body. I mean, your gut then produces basically your feelings in terms of hormones and molecules. So, serotonin, your gut determines whether or not you can be happy. A lot of dopamine, your gut determines whether or not you feel rewarded by things over time. GABA, which is the feeling of relaxation and pleasure. So, a lot of people that are magnesium deficient have really low GABA, which means they can't enjoy things. And so this is not like a non-physical thing that's going on. It's a very physical thing that influences how you perceive the world very heavily. And that's why it's important to address. How do we actually address it? And the easiest way we can address it, and something that I think is incredibly powerful, is activating the vagus nerve. Essentially, that entire process that I just explained is controlled by the vagus nerve. And the higher the vagal tone, the more that your body has the ability to do all of those things. And things that you can do to increase your vagus nerve function are like the thing that I mostly teach is just humming. And it sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Humming increases nitric oxide production by, like in studies, it was like 1,300%, something ridiculous. But it overall just increases your bodily function. And the thing is, most people don't know how to hum. So you have to hum from like the lowest point in your chest you can. Because as we talk, like now you understand that the vagus nerve runs from the base of your skull to your gut. So you think about the middle of that. It's like probably halfway down your stomach. So you want to feel the vibration as low as possible. Okay, so I'll actually show it to you. Like 4782. This is how I would hum. This is how I do hum. So Yeah, I'm actually like didn't even do my breathing exercises today, which is rare because my nose is stuffed. So sorry if you guys had to listen to me, my like sniffly nose. But that's how you do it. You want to go for the most even keel hum that you can. Like the goal is not to be on like You want to get it as deep as possible, and then you want to just let it rip as straight as possible, and you want to control it. Specific other breath work like Wim Hof, like patterns, box breathing, 4728 or 4782, 478. All of those are very beneficial for other things, but they all increase vagal tone as well. But yeah, humming is going to be a huge one that I would highly recommend, and having a higher awareness around like the fact that your gut health actually impacts what you're thinking, and more importantly for most people, because like yes, you want to go eat healthy, but what you're thinking directly impacts what you're feeling at all moments. And so to me, like I started taking a different attitude around my thoughts when I realized like how I physically feel is pretty much a reflection of my thoughts. And you go down the whole like rabbit hole of, really everything that you're experiencing is a product of your thoughts. And from this perspective, it's almost really true. You're actually excreting the things that you're thinking. And then your external world is essentially changing based on the actions you're taking, based on the thoughts that you're having, which are ever changing. Your beliefs, which are ever changing. These things, which are infinitely transformationable. You can transform them infinitely. This is like the type of science that leads you to be like, something has to be out there, right? Like, what? Not even just something has to be out there, but this is uniquely designed, Like, this is like really like everything that you think is reflected to you, and like the greats, whatever, all talk about it. They all talk about the law of attraction. They all talk about the presence, attention. What you think determines what your reality is. I'm pretty sure Buddha said like we are all a product of what we've thought, and that pretty much sums it up. Like what you think is your feeling, and what you're feeling is what you are. Think about like what is somebody to you? They're generally like a feeling. Like they make you feel a certain way. That's who they are to you. And so when they change, a lot of times we're like, well, this is a new feeling. I don't think I like it, but I thought this was like the feeling. And that tends to be a sign that you're not changing enough. Like, but it's a crazy rabbit hole to go down. It's a crazy thought to go down. But it's not really the point of this video. The point of this video is to learn how to hum, which is like, yeah, it's super important. It's something I practice every day, and it improves all of this.